We have never been more back.
It's summer. I'm calling it.
It's summer?
I'm wearing shorts. It's summer.
Yeah, I see all that leg. I thought you were a child of God. Curious.
He gave me these legs. What am I supposed to do? Hide them?
You sound like me, bitch. Ew, stinks.
Oh no, I missed you. Couldn't you tell?
Actually, I could.
Yeah. No,
She came into the green room ear to ear smiling. You know
I
she don't smile like that.
I was oh God forbid I'm happy to see my best friend. Oh my goodness.
You've changed, and so is the set.
Oh, wait, I love what you did there.
Okay, I pivoted.
No, we gotta I will say the set got her body done.
She did. Her body is tea.
Yep. Yeah.
Just like ours. Season 2. We're back.
Season
We're
2,
in it.
what'd it do? Number 52, what'd it do? The J-Lo thing. Oh, I love having a pen in my hand.
I don't. Put it down. In fact, I feel like I'm about to get like in trouble. It's red too.
Maybe you will.
Oh, God.
It writes in black. Okay, I have to say, Orange and Blue Skies. I have been a lifelong New York Knicks fan.
Well, yeah, no, and keep that in. No one edit that out. No one edit that out.
No.
You've been stumbling over those words.
I've been a lifelong Knicks fan since Monday, May 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And period. I went to a Knicks game.
You did.
Truly, I was off with my mom. She was like, "Are you going to the game?" I was like, "No, I don't have $1 million."
Right.
The nosebleeds were $700.
Yep.
But then a friend of a friend had tickets and was like, "You guys can come." I was like, "Oh, thank God."
So you didn't make it to Fancy Free?
No, and they wouldn't even give me a table or like anything. After I posted about where should I watch the game, everyone was like, Fancy Free. I was like, well, girl. Now, I wasn't called a fine-ass Spike Lee for nothing. I know about Fancy Free.
Who called you that?
A man in my DMs. You'll remember this. A man DM'd me as a compliment and said, "You look like a fine-ass Spike Lee."
I guess y'all are both light-skinned and committed to your issues.
And short and smart.
And I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
actually,
Spike Lee,
tip of my tongue.
Spike Lee turning a basketball jersey into a zip-up vest. Listen, you're so 2008. He's so 3000 and like, oh wow.
How'd it feel? How was your game?
Well, we won.
Hey.
And someone was like, say something nice about Boston. I was like, they lost. So that's the nice thing I can say about them.
Well,
they're playing the Celtics. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I keep my eye on the prize. My WNBA championships, New York Liberty.
Yeah. Well, I heard about you because I talked to your mom at your event at Mommy Issues.
You talked to Ellie the Elephant about me?
That's I talked to Alicia Keys about you. And she told me Peyton threw a tantrum at the nail salon.
Oh, she wishes.
Now, wouldn't that be a Lorde song?
It actually would be. But I do feel like the thing with Scorpio moms is they will find a way to make themselves victim. Yeah, they're like, actually, I was hurt after my mother, the truth, ready for the truth. My mom just came to visit. My mother dragged me to the nail salon, like that's closest to my apartment. I will say I'm a frequent flyer at a very nice, very normal manicure spot down the street where I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. She said, I think we need to support your local businesses. They're both local. It's a matter of 2 blocks or 1. When we go to this place, I'm like, there's always drama there. Let's just maybe skip. I don't know. It doesn't seem to uphold any certain standards there. We go there. There's a baby crying. There's a woman sneezing. There's people fighting. There's a man that comes in, points to his wife, says, she's a mother. Can she get her manicure done for free? Oh, Louis Dix wouldn't say that? Now I know you're lying. And my father would. I'm sitting there halfway through a shitty gel, and I look to my mom being like, oh, you dragged me here. And my mom texts me while she's waiting, says, I'm going to go. I'm going to make a run for it. Like, the vibes here are horrible. And my mom gets up and leaves me mid-gel, gets up and leaves me to the nail salon she dragged me to. So I just want to know, what would you have liked her to do? Sat there, gotten her nails, a snafu on every finger. Yes. Just out of solidarity? Yes. No. Sorry. A Taurus will lock in with you. A Scorpio will leave you high and dry. If that had been the two of us, you would absolutely have left. She even said, maybe. She even said, there's a really good spot down the street. The place where you usually go? So I locked her out of my apartment. I told her she needs to give me 20 minutes. She said, you're leaving me out in the cold. It was 75 degrees. I said, you'll make it work. You left me in a nail salon for 30 minutes. You had something to do. I cannot believe you she carried you for 9 months. And you locked her out of the home where you pay rent, where you pay your little rent. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Where I pay my rent. And you have the nerve to drag me to a nail salon I don't want to go to and then abandon me. Oh, that is actually,
I'll say one of the more crazy things I've ever heard come out of your mouth in the decade plus we've been friends.
Some of my most white behavior after jumping out of a moving vehicle.
Yeah, no, I hope the comments are hot for you.
Me too. And they will be. They get me together in those comments. They do. Your DMs and the comments on like the Spotify link, they get me together.
That's actually so funny.
But we're about to get you together. Because what are we talking about this week?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. This week we're talking about the secret lives of Mormon wives. Speaking of disrespecting mothers, here you go. Get ready to lock in.
Shake the table.
And also Lorde, the return of Lorde. And then we're joined by Joel Kim Booster to talk about Peacock's Love Hotel, of which he is the host. So let me just say this, actually. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm hearing reports. Are you looking for a home for your worst opinion?
Are you a hater first, but a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat. But we're not calling you out. No. We're calling you in. It's a safe space
to talk shit.
But, of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say that. I've been waiting to say this.
No, I got a few things to say, and I'm going to say it right now.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Okay, I was upstate on my eat, pray, love shit. And Hunter said, Peyton, it's season 2. It's time we get serious. It's time you lock into another season 2 of Real Housewives of Mormon.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
I'm going to stop you right there. Mm-hmm. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives
so
on Hulu.
That's what I was going to say. So that's what I was like actually right about to say. And like, mind you, I'm like having this like lovely full day. I'm off my phone and then I'm locking in the minute I get back to my hotel room and I'm pressing play on the most toxic show I've ever seen with my 2 God-given eyes.
I'm going to shake the table. Season 2 is better than season 1.
By far. I would actually agree.
Of course you would agree. There's so much more. First of all, there's so much more happening.
Yeah.
They definitely have like a bigger budget, wider berth. Because remember, season 1 ends so abruptly with like the Macy, hearing that Taylor's boyfriend was cheating on her. Yes.
And I will say, spoiler alert. Okay, skip forward 15 minutes if you need to, but honestly, we're about to get into it, so you don't want to skip. You gonna want to settle in, all right, and pull some popcorn out and a soda. Get you a swig soda and sit down.
Some swig.
So where are we at? Where are we at right now with the girls?
Okay, so last season finished with Whitney Leavitt dramatically leaving the Mom Talk group chat, and the whole show was about will Mom Talk survive? But this season, she's trying to work her way back into everyone's good graces, and the group is divided over a feud that is between Jen Affleck and Demi, don't know her last name, and then eventually becomes against between Jen and Taylor, who is like the leader of Mom Talk, has the most followers, is like the whole reason why Mom Talk exists, and also came forward with the whole swinging drama, which is like what started season 1.
And speaking of the swinging drama, we have OG Mom Talker Miranda, just the nice normal blonde girl, but she was part of the original swinging cast, if you will. And she's back, and she plays it safe to me, but everyone's always like arm's length.
She's a good friend of.
Spot.
Yeah. She comes in very she has a really strong scenes in the beginning, and then kind of goes by the wayside, which is fine because Halloween. We'll get to the Halloween party because we have a lot to say about the Halloween party.
Nothing bringing together like a messy white man. Wow.
Okay, I was so shocked when I pressed play on this about how much had happened, how much there is to catch up on from episode 1. That Jen and Zach, they had this whole fight last season over going to Chippendales.
Yes.
They are no longer together, separated. But then very quickly in the season, Jen finds out that she's what? Pregnant.
Happens to the best of us.
And I felt so truly sad.
Yeah.
To just imagine what is going on in this woman's life where she is trying to work on her marriage, figure out if she even wants to be with this loser of a husband.
She doesn't.
But is now pregnant and trying to be excited, but obviously
I don't even think she's trying to be excited though. She was from jump, looked down and said, fuck, in her head.
It was
crying,
even
immediately.
She started sobbing immediately. But I think she is trying to she says every child is a blessing and but how can I bring a child into what I don't even know is happening with my marriage right now? It was very sad. Macy and Michaela. So Michaela, another very moving story.
Yes.
Despite not being so present in season 1, Michaela has this real moment of vulnerability where she says that she was sexually abused as a child.
Yeah.
And because of that, she felt like she was always hiding and not being very open. And now she wants to really stand up for herself more.
Yeah, and she does. I feel like she's actually the only person that stands on business about being like, Whitney, you're messy. We see how you move and we're keeping, I'm not saying I'm on her side about it, but I do feel like
she is consistent.
Yeah. And I can see that all the producers are doing their job this season because they got their girls aside and they said, it's time to step your pussy game up. Okay. Because we had like 2 leaders last time. It was like, oh,
I know.
Demi storyline, Whitney, and then Taylor. But this one, everyone is fighting for that limelight, and thank God.
No, everyone. And speaking of who is locked in, no one more than Demi and Jesse.
Oh,
they were on their Zoom.
Wait,
no, they circled in every Scantron saying, "I'm the star." At
Demi,
least Demi did for sure. Jesse
Yeah.
is like kind of like her second in command, which listen turns.
She saw that everyone on TikTok was doing like the Mormon rankings, and she was booking number 1 every single time to me.
Yeah.
And so she said, well, let's put the cameras on. Put the cameras on, dead ass. Let's get to filming. Another girl who's stepping up to the plate, little Miss Messy Layla with her tiny body and her huge tits. Respect.
Ooh,
She's gonna topple over.
no.
She came to play. I mean, not really play. She came to like set things up and then immediately like back the fuck up.
Layla honestly kind of reminds me of you, no offense.
Bro, and say it.
The way that Layla does not stand on business at all
Lays
to any
down.
degree.
Lays down on business.
Late in the season, Layla is like, Taylor, I got you, girl. I will stand up for you. I support you, da-da-da. Taylor has a confrontation. Layla, she'll cover Layla. It's crickets.
Quiet as a mouse.
Layla doesn't even make eye contact with her. She literally is looking up and around. And then even before that, she's like so in with Jesse and Demi.
Yes.
And then at one dinner, they like all write the like, who do you have a problem with, or have confessions.
Oh, right.
And she writes her confession, then like it cuts away. She doesn't have anything to say about it. I was like, you just said you had a problem with Taylor.
And that's why I love her. They said, just do your best. Get involved. Go play with the other kids. And she did.
Listen, as I'm like, I don't know. I want to like Layla so much. I think that she is like, I mean, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And she's cute in all of her little videos. But no, she is cute in her TikToks.
Okay.
But I prefer her content to Michaela's.
I don't follow any
Well,
of them.
because Michaela is all she has to do. What did Whitney say? Listen, Whitney said, I'm putting food on that woman's table the way she talks about me. End period.
I just want every Black woman out of the Mormon church.
Well,
come here.
I think we've
We
lost
got
that
you.
battle.
Yeah.
At least with her.
Sorry.
Already. And then one thing I want to talk about, oh yeah, Taylor deciding what to do about her and Dakota. Dakota's her boyfriend, who truly, I'm going to say he's about 13.
Years old?
Emotionally. Yeah. Everything, the last thing he heard is like what he'll just repeat. And it's like, but wait, what are you talking about?
Unfortunately, that boy makes me laugh.
Even in his confessionals, when he's like sitting in a collared shirt, I'm like, you're like playing cosplay. Like you're playing dress up as an adult man.
I am so tickled by this man for some reason. And like, I want the best for both of them, mostly Taylor, obviously.
Mhm.
But their on-screen chemistry, they are two fools in love.
It's just, it's crazy. They fight all the time. Then later in the season, they're like, wait, so you guys have been like fucking on the low?
And he's like, yes. looks to every single camera. Correct. Yeah, we have that.
And then later he's talking to his friend and they're playing like basketball together and he misses every single shot in the scene. No, the people running this show are hilarious.
I love the editors. Give them every award. But also that scene with them fight. The way that people fight in front of family is crazy to me.
Oh, Taylor's family?
Yes.
Okay, that was, I'm going to say, in contention for like reality scene of the year. It rivals the Love Island USA scene whenever that one girl got kicked off and everyone freaks out. Because I'm telling you, watching, it's like Taylor versus everyone. Oh my gosh. I truly was like, I ride for Taylor now. Like season 1, I was like, yeah, whatever. Season 2, I'm like, no, if no one's got her, I've got her.
You know who got her? Well, actually, that's not true.
I was going to say who.
I almost said her mother,
it's not
but her
anyone
mother
in her
does
family.
not
It's
got her.
anyone in Mom Talk, I know that.
Definitely not anyone in Mom Talk. But Lena, is that her mom's name?
Leann. Yeah.
She don't play about her daughter, but she also only plays about her daughter.
Yes, her dad being like, I'm not going to point fingers. Literally, finger is in the air, mid-air. And then he's like, if you felt like Dakota was only wanting to see you at night to sleep with you, I wonder what would make him think that. And it's like, oh gosh. It's like the years like 2017 through 2019 just like did not happen in that house.
Well, yes. They didn't. That's
like,
the point of the show. Yeah.
Dang. That's your daughter.
But you got up close and personal. You got involved. You got added to the group chat.
It's a little bit of an inside job.
In some ways.
I went to a little town called St. George, Utah. And I spent the day with Whitney. And I mean like the entire day. I went to her house. We were there for a little bit. We went to pick up her daughter. We went to Swig. The original Swig. I got what's called a refresher. What was it called? Something. But it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. Whitney's husband, Connor, is so nice. I think their marriage is so funny to me. They're so locked in together. But also, I mean, especially from season 1, Connor is like her main talk to in all of her season 1 scenes. And he's not as president in season 2, but he does have that really good scene where he's talking to Taylor about like, about Dakota and how
really
like
sweet.
It's really hard to dig yourself out of a hole as like a part of a couple.
And everyone starts crying, being like, "Wait, you ate that?" Like that was actually really affirming and kind and thoughtful.
Yes,
of a response.
No, that's entirely matches my experience of him. Also, they got me like 3 drinks at Swing because we didn't know which one I would like. And Connor in the very like damn near the trunk of the car is like, "Whatever Hunter doesn't have, I'll have." I was like,
I got scared for a second. I was like, "You and 3 sodas. Caffeine hates to see you coming."
No, I did specifically say I cannot have anything with caffeine.
Yeah.
Just sugar, please. But yeah, she did have this really funny time where she was like, "Well, listen, Taylor does a really good job of keeping herself relevant." I was like, Whitney, you're so funny. But this is a great season for her.
It is actually redemption arc boots.
Yeah.
Even I found myself being like, "Okay, headband."
Yes.
Not too much of my girl.
Especially, I think one of the other parts too that we talked about is like, Chase, Miranda's husband, who kind of set off the swinging drama because he was one who was like, "Oh, I have feelings for Taylor." Taylor was like, "I do not have feelings for you." I was telling Whitney, it's rare that I hear every single person in a cast of reality TV show talk shit about one person. And he comes on screen and I was like, "Oh, I heard about you." And for good reason, actually. I cannot imagine a more deplorable person.
Yeah, he came on screen and I smelled it.
Even the way he was pointing at her,
nasty.
I was like, "You were dressed as Justin Bieber." And it was pre-sorry. It was in the worst era of Justin Bieber.
Even the way he poked Demi, I was actually mad. I mean, everyone's like, Demi maybe overreact. I said, no, get him again.
No.
Get him for me.
Because even the way that he was doing it, it's like you were trying to be a jerk.
Yeah, it was so
like,
high school boy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was so high school boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. Will Mom Talk survive? What was that boy Mauricio from Vanderpump Villa?
Oh my God. Yeah, I love a crossover episode.
Also Mauricio just insisting on drinking straight like mezcal or tequila in his one little scene. I was like, you're chaotic.
A mess.
Yes.
You're a mess.
Oh girl, Mom Talk might not survive this.
We might need to get into Vanderpump next, actually. He made me sit up. I was like kind of listening and walking around the apartment, and then I stopped and was like, "Oh, he's a mess."
Once again, your taste in men rears its head.
No, ew. I didn't say all that.
I kind of wish he had given this confession to someone other than Layla, because Layla is gonna be like, should I tell people or should I not?
No, Layla's working this
girl,
season. She's on the clock.
Give it right to like Michaela.
But do you believe him that he claims that he slept with Jesse, and like actually the heat was originally on Demi.
Mm-hmm.
Demi, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe it?
They slept with Jesse?
That they actually hooked up.
No. I don't believe it. I mean, Jessie to me is like grown. Like she had a swinging history of her own a little bit. She, was married before. Every time she talks, I'm like, wow, you've had like a whole life outside of this.
Well,
she has
32.
a business.
Everyone else's brains are developing.
Yeah. But I don't believe that. Risking, I mean, not that I care about her husband that much, but risking her whole life for this man who literally is like, he was shifting too much in that chair for me. I was like, just sit down. Bro. You think she's guilty?
I think a lot of bad bitches have done more for less. That's all I'll say on the matter. And some of those bitches might be in the room right now.
Maybe the people on the show.
And you 10, maybe a few bitches, maybe it's plural, and I won't name names. But there's only 2 women in this room right now, I'll say that. We'll see. We'll have to wait and find out. But I think she might have done a little smooching, a little necking, if you will. Okay, starting off season 2 with a bang, if you will. Hated that, but I'm going to commit to it, actually.
No, I'm so excited.
Because I meant it. With us today, we have Joel Kim Booster, actor, comedian, and host of Love Hotel on Peacock. Hey,
I did not know I was in the season premiere of season 2. I'm honored.
It's only the best. Only the best. Okay, Joel. I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Are you a lover or a hater?
I think that, like many people, I was who came up on Twitter. I was a hater by sort of training. Like I'm an OG gay Twitter member. You know, I was on the ground floor. I was in the trenches, and like certainly back in those days, hating was how you got engagement. I think it still is. But now that I am I'm pushing 40, I definitely am feeling, I think I'm more intrinsically a lover at heart.
Ooh.
That's beautiful.
Ooh, that's shaking the table.
You went through it to
Yeah.
go to it. Isn't
Yeah,
that what
no,
they say?
I like.
Close.
I think it's for me is like I just genuinely enjoy the experience of loving something even when it's bad. Like I love to see like a high school production of Legally Blonde, you know? and there's a lot to hate there, but yet I love it.
But there's more to love. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you're the host of Love Hotel. Like now
Yeah,
it's coming around. Now I see what you did
full
there.
circle,
Yes.
full circle moment.
Okay, so now I have to ask, are you a lover or a hater of being set up? Like setups?
Oh, I hate it actually. It's because I think this is a special problem that gay people face. A lot is that like if as soon as a girl named Heather meets more than one gay person,
Right.
she immediately wants to set them up.
And maybe that person's name
that-
is Hunter.
Yeah.
I've never tried to set you up.
Quite as
Oh,
it's kept.
one time. And the other party asked to be set up with you.
Oh, well, when you put it like that, yeah. So they're obsessed.
My thing with setups in general is it's a mirror that your friend is holding up to you, and you are like you finally see what your friend thinks of you based on the person that they've set you up with, and that is sometimes hard. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard, and sometimes you find out that your friend is a hater based on the setup that they have
Oh,
set
so
you
you
out on.
hate me. Good to know.
That's
Yeah.
that's so true. Every time I've been set up, I've honestly been very surprised. Like I've been pleased.
Oh.
But I'm glad that they weren't like, oh my God, you're so dumb. Like we
You
found
know-
a big
you know
dummy
what's
for you.
Funny though is that like when I got to New York, this guy was like, I want to set you up with a friend date with this other guy. He's also gay and also does comedy, and then put us on a group chat together. And we were both so like, because that was the reason he gave, we were both like, no, we don't want to be friends. Like, just like, we don't want to be your two little gay Asian friends that you like set up on a play date. And so we put off meeting for a long time, and that person was Bo and Yang. And then we finally met, and we were like Kiki and sisters immediately. And we were like, fuck this white guy who actually got it right. So that is like the most successful setup I've ever been on platonically.
Wait, that is such a sweet story.
Wait,
oh my
yeah.
God. Like my lover heart just grew a little bit.
That's kind of what Emerson College did to us. They put two black girls, because there was only two, in a room and said, you're going to watch Nanook of the North together, and you're really going to bond.
And something's going to grow from that.
Yeah. And
Okay, I'm loving Love Hotel.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yes, it's so fun. And also I need a vacation so bad. So it really is scratching that itch for me, let me say.
Okay.
What?
You like,
What?
did you just go on vacation?
No.
Okay. fucking
Call
do
her
it.
I
out.
was
Do
in
a Lipa
London
over
for
here.
work. Okay. It was not sunny there. Okay, I need to know, did you have any favorite hosts like on TV or like in like MTV, anything that like inspired how you approached hosting this show?
Yeah, I mean, definitely Susan Pack was like a big one for me, obviously. And then Dave Holmes, I'm dating myself now, is a big one. But you know who really turned it out for me? It was America's Funniest Home Videos, Daisy Fuentes. Daisy
Ooh.
Fuentes,
Yeah.
she did the big one.
Yeah.
She did her
She did her big one.
on
She did her big one.
on America's Funniest Home Videos. I just thought she was like so beautiful and like a woman in comedy, you know? A
Yeah.
woman in comedy just introducing nut shots. And
Someone's got
that's
to
where
do
I'm
it.
pulling from.
Honest work. Honestly, yeah, period. You're obviously a big Housewives fan, but let's set the girls up who are listening in. Can you talk us through the setup of Love Hotel, starring possibly your favorite housewives?
Yeah, so Love Hotel, it is basically what is that show? Love Island meets The Golden Bachelor. It's these four women from various housewife franchises. We've got Ashley Darby, Giselle Bryant from Potomac.
Yes.
We've got Shannon Storms Bedore from OC, and we have the one, the only Countess Luann from New York. And they are dating. Waves of men are checking into this hotel, this resort that we were in New Mexico, and they have their choice, and they go on dates, and they fall in love, and they fall out of love, and they honestly, they don't fight that much with each other. I always say about this show that the lovely thing about it is that you really do see the women sort of like band together and support one another, like girl code down. And all the conflict is usually with the men. So that's like fun. It's a fun change of pace to see for sure.
I love when women fight men. That's what I'm like.
Yes,
Sisterhood. That's the empowerment I've been talking about this whole time.
I also, it's kind of like
Absolutely.
watching like people like whip the votes in Congress. Like, okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
I want to give him my key, but like, can you kind of help me out here and like give
No.
your other key to like this other guy that I like? That
Giselle
is
Bryant is Kevin Spacey in House of Cards. Like she
You said something radical.
is diabolical.
Yeah.
So
No,
Okay,
I saw it straight. Potomac is my entry point into the Housewives universe.
as
so
it should be.
Thank you for saying that.
we are also both novices, but Roni was my, well, that's not
Yeah.
true. Atlanta was my entry, and then I got onto Roni so late. But like, what is Luann? What is the Countess like?
The Countess is everything you want her to be like and more, I will say. Like, the thing is I knew while hosting this show and observing Luann, I knew what music they were going to play under every single one of her scenes. And it was like I was like, these are comedy beats. Like, she is like, listen, they're all housewives. They're difficult to corral. Luann, is no exception to that. But somehow Luann made it fun. Like, it was like, it was like, we were always chasing her down. Like we were always like trying to like get them in the right places, where they needed to be for shooting and stuff like that. Cause it's a big hotel. And like, but with Luann, we were always sort of like, oh, Luann, that's, it was just amazing. I told her I couldn't swim. And she told me that the secret to saving your own life in the ocean is to just pretend like you're dead and the ocean will carry you back to shore. And I will say, I don't think that's true.
Oh, I was
And
like,
I really
that
hope-
sounds like sage advice. That's where my
Yeah, no, I
doesn't.
think you'll wash up ashore eventually.
But dead.
But you'll be long dead, yeah,
Without a
after
pulse,
pretending.
I will say there was a scene where she's walking on like the beach at the sunset with like one of her men, and she literally says, "Okay, I'm done," and turns around.
Yep.
And then the guy
Oh.
said, I just,
But
I
every
really appreciate that
oh,
woman.
darling.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Her riz.
yeah.
Okay, I also, not to give the men too much airtime, but of course we are curious. Did you have any favorites of the men?
I did. I
Yeah.
will say for the most part, the men that were there long enough to get to know were all really lovely. I loved Mark. He was a great guy. Earl of Pearl, amazing. One of the best
Earl.
we have. Wale, I told Wale, I was like, well, you are going to be so good on Traders someday,
I love
I was like,
that.
you're a superstar. Love Wale so much.
Yeah.
They're all great. There wasn't really a stinker in the bunch. Now, granted, I only knew them for 3 weeks, and with men, sometimes it takes years for them to reveal
Okay,
the
and
darkness inside.
actually,
Or 3 seconds. It's one
I'm
or the
so
other.
glad you brought it up, because what do you think are like the biggest red flags that are like in dating, or what were you looking for when you were dating?
You know what? For me, I think it's like you really need to gut check it, because I do not get these people, and there are many of them, and I was never like this, and it's part of why I was 33 before my first relationship. But like, you should be excited to see the person you're going on a third date with. And I know so many people, especially in cities like New York, where they're like, yeah, I'm going out with this guy again. I'm not exactly sure how I feel, but like, I'm just like letting it see what develops, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, baby, like by this point, you should be feeling something. And I
Yeah.
feel like that not being excited to see your third date is a major red flag for me. And I know a lot of people push back when I say this and say like, oh, I was friends with my wife for 3 years before we, realized that we were good love partners and things like that. That's different. That's not the same thing
Mhm.
as like going on a third Hinge date with some rando that you don't even like,
Yeah.
that can't hold it down, that does not, you clearly don't want to invest in this person. So just don't bother. And I think some people just need to be dating so much that they put those feelings aside. They ignore that and say, let's push through this, and maybe eventually I'll fall in love with this person.
As a lesbian, I obviously can't relate to that because I'm like, third date. Wait, so you're not asking to marry me? Oh, so you want me dead? I'm so confused. I'm like, what do you mean?
We're both newly single after long relationships, and sometimes I'm like dreading a first date. I'm like, oh, here we go.
No,
Let me put on this lip liner.
And I'm like, I'm flying to LA. I'll see you soon. So that's how we operate here in Love Hotel, Times Square. We want to know, which housewife would you have sign up for season 2 of Love Hotel?
I think this show is, I'm going to cheat and say 2 names. I think that Heather from Salt Lake, this show is really built for her. She's one of our like most single housewives, I would say. And I think like she's really put in the time. She's given us so much in a short amount of time. She deserves to be in the Love Hotel and find a man that way. And I'm also going to say Adriana from Miami, because Cuckoo Cuckoo, beautiful and funny and single. And again, a very, very single housewife. So I think both of those women would be just superstars on that show.
Did the idea of the show come from the fact that so many housewives are single?
I think the idea of the show came out of the success of Love Island.
I've heard of this tiny little show up and coming.
I think and dating shows in general,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But I do think they're trying all these new formats with the housewives, because the shows have grown and evolved in such a way where they're self-aware. They're almost a little too aware of the meta of it all. And so I think it's fun to take them out of their comfort zones and put them in these situations. Because I will tell you, people like Giselle is a control freak, and you can tell that she really, produces her show unofficially and in small ways, and that was not the case on this show. And I think it was fun. It made Giselle so much more interesting to watch, seeing her put in this position where she's not in complete control, where she's not necessarily queen of the castle. And so I think seeing these housewives in these other sort of situations is kind of where the whole Bravo universe is probably heading.
Totally. I mean, I think Traders too.
I was going to say, I have 2 pitches. Cynthia Bailey and Brenda Medley.
Oh yeah. I think
get the producers on the phone.
Cynthia, this isn't a spoiler because she's in the trailer, but she does show up. She does make an appearance on the program, and is one of the loveliest human beings I think I've ever experienced, and one of the most beautiful too.
That we know.
One of the best we have.
God, I'm hoping someone says that about me soon. I'm really needing that. Oh my God, that's a description.
Okay, famously, you brought Pride and Prejudice to the Pines with Fire Island. This year marked the 25th anniversary of the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice movie. Mm-hmm. Do you have opinions about that movie? Was that an important adaptation for you?
I grew up on the BBC miniseries, so I will always hold that close to my heart. Jennifer Ely and Colin Firth are the OGs. They will sort of always be those characters to me. I will say it's a hard story to adapt into a normal length movie, but I think that Joe Wright did a fantastic job. It's so beautiful. I think the one thing that it does capture about that the Bennett family that the miniseries sort of doesn't do is you really feel the wealth disparity in these different echelons in that movie in a way that you don't necessarily feel it in the BBC version. It's sort of they're all in the same costume on the BBC version, but you feel there's mud in their house, it's
they're pigs running around.
These people are poor.
Confirmed.
And yeah, so I think it's great, and I think a lot of the stuff that they added is really fun. Obviously the iconic hand touch moment, the moment in the rain, which I fully ripped off. All of it. It's so good, and and Peyton, I know you appreciate the hand touch moment because that is what you get in lesbian movies for the most part. Is just a little grazing of the hand.
It's so nice to be seen. And thank you for seeing me, okay? Because literally when we were talking about this in the producing meeting, I was like, the hand moment, and Hunter was like, okay.
Well, I'm familiar. I was on Tumblr in the year 2011, so I saw Matthew McFadden's hand a lot.
I thought we would all kind of light up the way I did, but that's just for me. That's for us, okay? That's for us. Yeah. I mean, well, speaking of course, Pride and Prejudice, we're doing the very smooth segue right now to Fire Island, baby. 'Tis the season. Hunter said it was summer earlier today.
I feel like it's
we're
summer.
here
Summer
now
to me, in New York City.
So, which obviously means it's Fire Island season. Is, when you go back now, do you have a different experience as when you went before your film came out?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a concentrated group of people that were likely to see the movie at some point or hear about the movie. Some of them might have even been there because they saw the movie. And so there are moments where I feel like Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. Where I'm sort of like in a big Hello Kitty costume, underneath and just like walking around tea. But I will say the thing is about Fire Island is that it is summer camp vibes because you're trapped on a tiny island with the same group of people for the full week, and you see that you see the same people over and over again. And so the veterans are very aware of that, and so they keep it cute. Like they don't get weird. Usually it's just a nice comment or something like that. I will say no one is more likely to tell me they hated my movie or give me notes on my movie than a drunk gay guy on Fire Island. That has happened.
Sure.
That has happened a number of times.
I have feedback. Yeah. Like, thank God. I want to do this.
And I'm like, baby, the movie is cut. It's printed. It's out there. I can't go back. I'm not going to do a Zack Snyder cut with your alts in mind.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to explain. I mean, I frequent Fire Island as, again, the L and LGBTQ. Mm-hmm. So I'm normally like quietly in the back of, I don't take the front seat. I know it's capital G gay there, but
I mean, that's why Cherry Grove exists.
And I still, for some reason, it's like, I'll stay in the Pines because I like to suffer.
It's more fun. The thing is I know tons of trans girls and lesbians that do go to the Pines because I think it's more of an age thing than a lesbian and gay thing with Cherry Grove. Like the Pines is where you go when you want to like have fun and party with young people, and the Cherry Grove is like once we have kids we'll go to Cherry Grove.
And I'm young, so
yeah,
you know where I'll be. But I was saying, I made a reference to the meat rack, and I wanted Hunter to. I'm just setting up my straight friend. Here we go. To take a guess at what the meat rack is. A few Fire Island things, and then you'll explain it to her. But what do you think the meat rack is?
I think the meat rack is a gym where a lot of really buff guys go.
That's a great educated guess, actually.
That is a really nice guess and a really great name for a gym on Fire Island.
Someone should take that.
Yeah, shit.
I will say the gym on Fire Island is very small, and it is ground zero for so much body dysmorphia. Absolutely. I'm constantly walking by, and I'm like, why are you there? We're on vacation. Like, give it a rest, please. Like, it is. And of course I go because I have the same disease. Of course. And
you're the person in question. Yeah. Talking to someone.
No, the meat rack is a stretch of island. It's in the dunes, and it is a pathway between the Pines and Cherry Grove that you can walk. It's very creepy at night, but also very sexy at night. And there's a lot of bushes, and it's where it was like a very early cruising ground, and it still exists in that capacity. Unfortunately, Grindr sort of killed the meat rack in a lot of ways, but I know a lot of people who still like to go vintage and like really just see what they can dig up in the meat rack.
Grindr Killed the Meat Rack is like a name of an album somewhere.
Yeah, it really
is. Yeah, it's a Lana Del Rey forthcoming
It's on
album.
SoundCloud right now, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I was like, why was that so poetic and beautiful to me? I hate being gay. It's actually a person.
Yeah.
It's like, you spelled. Okay, what do you think the Ice Palace is?
Ice Palace?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the Ice Palace is a snow cone shack where people can go and go on dates, like kind of like icy dates. Like we had that at church camp, icy dates.
No.
Well, we were 13. There weren't bars.
The Ice Palace is a bar in Cherry Grove where the infamous underwear party on Friday nights happens. It is sort of a rite of passage for every gay person who's going to Fire Island must strip down to their underwear and go to a party surrounded by other people in their underwear. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Hunter's like, book me a ticket.
Yeah, the Ice Palace does just sound like a place you do coke in.
Yeah, wait,
Like,
yeah.
that is, I mean, not. But
Or
like,
church, church icy days.
Move along.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Last one, Sunken Forest.
This sounds like a vintage shop where you might find Charlie XCX trying on clothes in the back.
that is like kind of amazing.
Hunter's got really good ideas. This is a business meeting now.
So this is just an area of Fire Island. I'm not even sure, but it's like tree stumps and like there's a little bit of bay water sort of. It's just a beautiful place to go and get a photo op basically now. But also like
PG.
Walt Whitman used to go there and sit in the Sunken Forest and write, it's
Wow.
got that pedigree as well.
That sounds gorgeous. Wait, I'm
We might need to get Hunter to
going
Fire Island.
Island. That's so crazy.
We shoot a doc. Maybe it's a second film. We
Yeah.
really are. We really
Oh.
are ideating in this.
No.
On this Zoom call. Yeah.
Joel, thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure. We cannot wait to
Ah.
keep watching Love Hotel. And where
Thank
can
you
people
so
follow
much.
you?
They can follow me at I Hate Joel Kim on Instagram. I'm no longer on Twitter. I miss you, Hunter. You're one of the few people that I miss from that place. Otherwise, don't miss it at all. But yeah, check me out on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I think that's just my name, but I don't use that platform very much because that's none of my business.
Many such
Heard.
cases.
What they're doing on there, that is none of my business.
I love it.
That's not my culture. That's not my costume. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joel. Pride is coming up.
Oh,
Hunter, did you know that the L in LGBTQ does not stand for lesbian?
what does it stand for?
It stands for what? See how a straight woman's gonna make something about her?
God
said,
forbid
"Me?"
I center myself.
Well, guess what? It's Lorde, another straight woman, actually, against all odds.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, we do. I got texts, actually.
Oh,
I asked the streets and I confirmed. But we are so sort of back. We went from flop Solar Power album. And I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying it was a flop to me, even though it might have been, but it was a flop to most people. It was unstreamed in a lot of communities.
listen, Lorde is not my bag. She's not my little canvas tote. However,
That was
I
homophobic somehow. Somehow.
No,
some
it
way.
wasn't. But I like Solar Power.
Okay.
I like the winter in case the spring.
Everyone was like, "Stop being happy. We don't like you like that." And she was like, "Noted." And then vanished.
And then got happier. Yeah.
And then came back with the Charlie XCX feature on Girls So Confusing.
Yeah.
Which really shook many tables in Bushwick.
It's crazy. In this room too?
And it shook my table. It shook this little coffee table right here.
It shook mine too. Sometimes I will listen to that again and really start getting emotional.
Yeah. Because I've also had body dysmorphia. And it will make you not go to dinner, I'll tell you that.
It is confusing to be a girl.
And the way Hunter and I made eye contact made me uncomfortable. That's all I want to say about that pause. And now we have Lorde announcing the Ultrasound World Tour and the new album Virgin. And a few things came with that. And I'll start with the Rolling Stone interview.
The cover story
Cover.
by Brittany Spanos. Yes.
Well, word government name. Shout out to that writer. I don't know her, but I'm sure it was awesome. But I did see, of course, the pull quote where she was talking to Chapel Roan, who was like, "So what's up? You non-binary now or what?" Which is so you, Hunter.
That's me.
It's
No, that
so
is
you.
not me.
No. It would be.
No.
You're a straight shooter. You're like, I need to know, because you will respect a pronoun no matter what, through and through.
Period.
But you got to know it first. And you're like, I don't want to make an assumption. I don't want to make an ass out of you and me, but you got to tell me what's up. You're Chapel.
I would do it. I would do it a little bit more delicately. They're asking on stage. Something like that. Just
Someone else.
Just because I would like to know, just so I can be respectful.
Respect.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I like the way she asked.
asking straight up is because also I'm they can't know each other that well.
No.
Maybe they are fast friends.
They are.
But I'm you haven't been knowing her for a while. You just
So what's up with your gender?
wow.
You in or you out?
But I guess
you demi or you in?
oh Lord
Sorry.
have mercy.
Demi Lovato catching strays. Classic.
But I guess I did forget that on the Met Gala red carpet, when Lorde was talking about her dress,
Oh.
she was like, oh, because like I have like the back out because it's like kind of man and woman. I'm not making a joke. That's basically what she said.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And I wish I didn't hear it either. But it is what it is. But her response to the chapel's question was, I'm a woman, except for the days that I'm a man. Which is not a very satisfying answer, but there's a part of me that is really resistant to boxing it up, which I respect. Because I feel like that was part of the backlash of Demi Lovato being like, that was too much after coming out as non-binary.
Yeah. Well, I guess I just have to say, I appreciate someone willing. What?
No, I'm just laughing at Demi Lovato.
Oh,
Queen.
Lord.
Stream skyscraper.
I think it's very bold.
Yeah.
To be so publicly living in the like nuance of I'm not this or that, but I'm like still figuring this out like myself.
Yeah.
And
I think in not a weird way at all, but I think non-binary or using they, them pronouns has become not this like expansive way of identifying in gender, but like a third gender now. Like it's like now I'm picking
totally.
Versus like the whole point, which is like exploring what the expansiveness of gender can be.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the thing for me, which shout out to Lorde, truly, the thing for me was I thought she was coming out as a lesbian. She had 14 carabiners on her in that one TikTok video. 14.
Oof.
And you're marching through the streets, AirPod Max is on, and you're not gonna come out as a lesbian?
Oh,
see, that's
my
personal.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick.
You are like, I don't even know. You're like you're what they say when they talk about the woke mind virus.
I am the woke. I am the woke. Oh my God. I'm the gonna say it because I'm the problem. No, when people like don't come out as lesbian, it like pisses me off.
Oh
I'm irritated.
my gosh. And I know I've been irritating you since 1994.
True. Every time I'm like, Hunter, be a little bit bi. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's my thing. It's like, I can't even stand on business about that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But will we be going?
To the Ultrasound World Tour?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, there's nothing for me there. I respect it, but there's nothing for me there.
She said, like I said, I've got my tote bag.
But I have a bone to pick with you.
No, we're in public. We're in mixed
because
company.
Where was I when you went to the Sweat Tour? To the Brat Tour? Where was I?
I don't know.
I was in the Ally then, was I?
Well, Lorde is straight, so you don't need to be an ally to her.
I don't want to see that. I wanted to see Charlie, but then my ticket got taken.
Oh my God.
By someone else.
Well, if you can get me, throw me a ticket and a +1, please, so I can bring this girl to look at some people she can find in Bushwick. Or some music she can play on her speakers in her home.
I played it too.
Let's do it. It's good. Yeah. What was that?
Top of the charts. What was that? I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I liked that song.
I didn't. I thought it should have been harder. It should have been harder, louder, faster. Like the beat drop should have been like bigger.
Not you being the 365 party girl.
Maybe so.
Are you kind of Brat? Are you kind of Charlie in the equation?
Dare I say Hunter is Brat? Oh, sorry. I take it back.
That was the most Kamala you have ever been.
Ugh.
And you've been her a few times. Arrest, no Kamala, but arrest her. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
Ooh, one more thing about Mormon wives.
Say it.
That pregnancy roulette, absolutely not. Oh my goodness, the worst thing I've seen on TV in a long time.
And the worst thing I've seen on TikTok in a long time is Lorde not being a lesbian yet again. Make sure to follow us on our new accounts. Again, we got our body done, okay? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, at Let Me Say This Pod.
And LA, guess what? We're gonna be at EatsCon this year on June 28th.
Yeah, we are in our bi-coastal bag, so remember that.
Not me. I'm not bi-coastal. Don't put that curse on me, demon.